in 3, 2, 1. It's Kane and Jake.
Where you going with that one? I was excited there.
It's Kane and Jake, and we're ready to go. Welcome to the Ins and Outs show. Bars.
Let's go.
Yeah, you like that?
I like that
Try
one.
again. It's Kane and Jake, and we're ready to go. We've had a coffee. You can't mess with us, yo. Welcome to the Ins and Outs show, where we motivate you to go. I was going to say to not be a hoe, but it's not very...
Cancelled.
It's not very appropriate. What go on, everyone? Happy 1st of February, 2022.
You were going to say 21 there, weren't you?
I was.
I could hear it. It's coming.
It's Tuesday. It's 10-ish a.m.
10:15
a.m. I was early today. Say what? I got to the building before you. The door was
locked.
Come at me, player. It's because my dog didn't want to go on a walk this morning.
Oh, really?
So saved myself 25 minutes.
Ooh.
She went toilet and went back home. I was like, alrighty.
She really is the boss, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm her bitch. she's a bitch. I'm her bitch.
Yep.
Yeah. How's your week?
Yeah, good.
It was
Good,
weird
good.
not seeing you Sunday.
Yeah, I just felt like I needed a day off.
Did you need like some self-love time?
I did. And you know what? I woke up Monday morning and I was like, I'm fucking ready now.
Did you feel like you just needed
I just needed that bit of R&R. Ordered some food.
What's
Was a
R&R?
slob. Rest and recovery.
Okay.
And then Monday I woke up super motivated. So I went with my gut. I was right.
Yeah, I missed you. But
I missed coming.
I'm glad you felt better.
I felt like a lazy bum though.
Yeah.
I was like, you let yourself down, Jake. You let yourself down.
You know how they say if you're not progressing, you're moving backwards?
Mm-hmm.
You're now getting worse at dance by the second.
Thanks, champ.
It's all right. Just being honest. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, yo, this week, well, not this week, but since the podcast, it's been, for me, a freaking roller coaster.
Yeah.
First of all, my Instagram got hacked.
That was fun.
Dude.
You've voice noted me like 6:30 in the morning, like, Jake.
I was so annoyed. So, guys, if any of you get a message from anyone, even if it's your friend, saying, yo, send me this link or open this link, don't do it.
Yeah, I'm surprised you did that. Hate to say it, but that's
Well,
a bit of a
I
dumb
know
move.
it's not a very me thing to do, but it was like 6 a.m. My alarm had just gone off.
So
and then-
sleepy dumb.
Yeah, and then I did that thing, which I don't normally do. I turned off the alarm, and then I looked straight on my Instagram, and I had a message off my friend. And I was like, and he's from the States, I haven't spoken to him in ages, and he's like, bro, need your help. Like, send me this link. And he spoke how he spoke.
Right.
So I was just like, yeah, bro, no worries. Like, I got you. Like, you do it for me.
Mm.
He sent me this link. I opened it, sent it back to him.
Oh, it was actually like a conversation going back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
So I sent it back to him. Boom. You've logged out of Instagram. I was like, you who, what, how? And then I couldn't get back in. And then I tried saving it. It took me all morning. Nothing. I was even in the shower with my phone out. I'm trying to not be late for work. So I had to teach with my arm outside the shower trying to figure it out. And then I got halfway through the day of teaching and it set my tone for the day. Like,
Yeah.
I was in a bad mood from the jump. And I told some of the students that I was teaching, and bless them, they were so like, oh, like, you can get it back, like, like, so supportive. And, like,
You can do this.
It was genuinely like they were so gutted for me. It was as if like my dog had died or something. Like they were so like loving.
Well, that's what it is now, isn't it?
Bro, we'll get
into that.
So then I did this verification face thing where you have to like go through all this stuff and take selfies, and then they verify you. 3 times they said it wasn't me. I was like, it's still me. I was like, I know I've got fake teeth, so I might look different in the photos, but it's still me. Anyway, next try, they verified me. Halfway through the lesson, I was like, yes, I got verified. They've accepted me. All the students started cheering. Like, I don't know if you remember Lau from the program.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, let's go. So we'd be midway through the lesson, and he'd be like, let's go, Kane, you got your Instagram back. I'd be like, come on. Like, it was sick. I was so happy. It really turned my day around. Such a small thing, but I felt like a victory. Class finished, got in my car to drive to the different studio. I'd logged out my Instagram again.
Right.
They'd done it again, bro. They got me again. So I was fuming, livid.
It's war now.
By this time, the entire college are talking about it. I've got people coming up to me through the window going, how have you posted on Instagram? You're in class. And it's like a photo of me.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like a screenshot of you,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
a screenshot of me as my background, first of all.
Would you ever have yourself as your background?
What a wanker.
I mean, you're pretty egotistical, but
I've got a big head, but I don't even love myself. Especially that one. Like, it's like I just had a suit on. I look like Ellen DeGeneres. Like,
Yes, you did as
I
well.
look like Ellen walking forwards in my grey suit. Like, and then they're like all this fucking Bitcoin and Forex shit. And if anyone really knows me, they know that is
You know
so
nothing
far
about
from
it.
me. And
Yeah.
actually, some people were like, "Yo, Kane, you're in on it now, right?"
Let's
like,
go, chief.
like they were so surprised, like trying to full on invest and have conversations with this person. So then I just kind of like had to let it go. I was like, I need to just get over the fact that I'm not going to win this fight right in this moment.
No.
So then I did the face verification thing in the night, woke up in the morning, got my gram back. So went on there. Why they got me the second time is I didn't change the details of my phone number and my email address back to mine. So it
Right.
was still as theirs. So they still had the ability to
Send it
send me a
back.
code to change the account. So I changed it all. And then I was like, let me scan through these settings to make sure there's no other way they can get this. Dude, you know you can link your Instagram with a Facebook?
Yeah.
They'd linked my Instagram with 8 different Facebook accounts.
Right.
So they would still have a way to access or
in.
have some power.
So you had to go through and
So I
delete all of them.
disconnect all of them. So I'm back, baby. I'm back.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah. So
See, that's rough.
but you know
They're
what?
good though.
They got me so good.
And I like the way they
I've seen
didn't they.
loads of people have been hacked as well lately. I've seen so many people having the
Right.
same stuff posted.
But it's also like they disconnected your ins and outs podcast.
Dude, they blocked it. They blocked the
So
ins and
which
outs.
means you couldn't notify them and.
Yeah, and that's why they didn't. I thought they deleted all the posts.
Mm.
They didn't delete all the posts. We were collaborators. So because they blocked
you
the ins
blocked.
and outs, it removed everything that's related to
Right.
the ins and outs off my Instagram account.
Yeah.
Fuming.
Clever.
But what it really made me realize is, first of all, how upset I was, and that's a problem. It's a problem that I'm that attached
Emotionally invested in it.
and that emotionally invested to my Instagram page.
Yep.
Which, you know, I've put in a lot of work to like get 17,000 followers. Like, I know it's not a lot to some people, but it's taken me a long time. And all my memories are on there. I was so afraid that I would never be able to access my memories, or they would delete everything on there. Like, I've so much like stuff from when I was in
It's like
LA
a diary and
like,
stuff, innit?
yes, but you know, I'm sure they're all on my phone somewhere, but maybe some aren't. You know, I've got so many different things on there that I might not be able to access anymore. And like, even like connecting with people, I was like, say I want to speak to like Mike Gadelka or Brian Freeman, like they know that I'm Mr. Bull Change. You know, like if I
Mr. Ball Change 1.
but you know what I mean? It's like if Marty does a live and I go on and he sees Mr. Bull Change, he goes, "What up, Kane?"
yeah.
So like,
It's a way of connectivity.
like
innit?
so if I have to make a new account, it sounds silly, but like I felt like that's part of like Mr. Bull Change is part of my identity. As wanky as that sounds, it's like my superhero name. It's like Bruce Wayne and Batman, like Peter Parker and Spidey, Kane and Mr. Bull Change.
Yeah, Mr. Ball
I'm
Change.
gonna have a Mr. Bull Change outfit, a
Yeah.
suit and a mask.
We'll get embroidered on.
Not a COVID mask, face mask. But yeah, we just lost loads of views because I said COVID.
Yeah.
We're blocked.
We're blocked.
But yeah, man, it
Cancelled.
was really. It's a big worry to me about how much it affected me, and then I think, it's it's probably not just me that feels that way.
No, massive. But I think there is something to say. Your Instagram is your business, which is where the issue is. Like, I don't think or feel you would be as emotionally connected to your account if a lot of your monetary stability comes from it.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Like, if it was just photos of me and Hallie or me and Georgia,
You got loads of those.
I've got loads
Yeah.
of them, and they'd probably also be on my phone. But it's like all my work connections and like I get so much teaching through it and things like that. Like,
But that is an issue.
that's
So
an issue. So, and that's
Can
what I
you
was
start
saying,
to
like,
figure a way around that?
what happens if Instagram dies tomorrow?
Which is
Just
possible.
just like MySpace did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
And
I feel
Bebo.
like we need to pardon
Bebo.
Bebo, MySpace. Do you remember Pixo?
I don't remember Pixar.
Ah,
I think Bebo is the
Pixo was before Bebo.
right.
Basically, it was just like you created your own website
Right.
page, but you're all on like you design what it looks like.
Kind of like Bebo.
Yeah.
But like proving.
But,
Do you remember on Facebook that you couldn't interact with people? You could write on someone's wall. So if
Yeah.
you had a conversation, you have to write on their wall, and they write on your
you
wall
couldn't
back.
actually- there was no messenger.
There's no messenger or comments or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's
We're old.
we're old. But like, it's a real concern to me how much like we use it for business, and if it disappears, what are we gonna do? And then I've been listening to 2 different audiobooks this week, which have been like I've been so inspired by them. The 50 Cent one, Hustle, which we spoke about kind of last week. I've just finished that. I finished that this week, and then I've been listening to the trilogy, Still Like an Artist, and then his 2 other books.
I've
Please
heard
go
of that
after
book. Who's
Dude.
it by?
Uh,
Dot 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 dot.
uh,
Go Google.
it is
I
by
actually think I've got it written down on my
Steer Like an Artist, audio by Austin Kleon. So the first one is called Steer Like an Artist. His next book is called Show Your Work, and then the next book is called Keep Going. So I'm currently on Keep Going. So I've done the first two. I did all of that yesterday. So it was like 4 hours of an audiobook because I listened to it in 1.5.
Do you?
Yeah. Sometimes when it's like quite slow, I listen to it in 2.0.
Doesn't
Like-
that sound really like distorted and annoying?
No, it's easier to stay. I find it's easier for me to keep paying attention.
Right.
Because when they talk slow and it's monetary and then monetary is very monotone like this, I get bored and I get distracted. But
Right.
if they speak like this the whole time, I really have to concentrate to understand what they're saying.
Okay.
It keeps me engaged.
Does it make you drive faster?
No, I drive fast anyway. But no, so I've been listening to those and they're super inspiring. And they actually say on the Show Your Work book, like, don't rely on all your social media outlets for your business. The best thing you can invest in is your own web domain and
Right.
website, because whatever happens, you'll always have control of that. You'll always have power.
Yeah.
So
Unless the internet goes
if
down. but that
everything
won't.
goes, yeah, unless the internet disappears. But if everything goes, then you still have something to show your work.
Yep.
And yeah, so I've been listening to those books, and I've been so inspired, man.
What's the basis of Show Your Work? Or the
Uh,
books that you're listening to now?
The Still Like an Artist one is basically super breakdown of why it's so good. It's like nothing is original. You've created
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's all you're taking input
you're
from seven
taking
different.
input, and what you should do to get good at something is steal from people, steal from your idols, but don't steal it and do the exact same thing. So say my biggest heroes are in dance. Let's say John Graham, Marco, Misha Gabriel, Nick Bass, Rich and Tone, Mike Gadalka. Well, I don't just steal one of their steps. Like, I don't steal all of their steps off one person.
No, but your
Like,
movement's inspired by them.
when I learn from them, I get their movement vocabulary from all of them, and that's what creates me.
Yeah.
That's what makes me unique. It's not about being the exact same as them. I'm created from a combination of all of them. The same way as, like, when you're born, you're not the DNA of just your mum or just your dad. You're a part of both. So that's what creates you. And it's like, that's what Steal Like an Artist is. So find the best people to steal from and then try and make it better.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
like
because nothing's going to be original. Like, you're not going to come up with your own thoughts. Someone will have done it somewhere, or you've been influenced somehow.
Somehow.
And then Show Your Work is like, so if you're creating art, what's the point in creating all this amazing art and all this amazing stuff for it to just nothing to be done with it? It's like, show it to people.
Right. Flaunt
Show
it.
it to your friends, flaunt it, but don't try and do it in a monetary way to make money. Just put it out there and get people's feedback and see what people say. Like, you might put out 10 shit things, but one good
sticks.
thing might work. So that's the Show Your Work one. And then the Keep Going is basically, you know,
Grand set, baby.
yeah, like, just don't give up.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, when people, like, they use a really good analogy about, like, how you need to see life, or like, say, like, we're trying to achieve something in this podcast. We just keep doing it every week without stop. Doesn't matter the outcome, we just keep going. And imagine, like, when you're in a car park, like, say we've all gone to a rammed car park and you're struggling to find your parking space and you've done like 20 laps. Eventually, as long as you don't give up,
You'll find a car
you'll
parking
find
space.
a parking space.
Right.
But the person that gives up and goes somewhere else has lost the opportunity to park in that space. Like, and that's the premise of Keep Going. Like, just keep showing up, keep doing it, putting in the work, and eventually you'll find your space.
A quote that goes with that, I think, is even a broke clock is right twice a day.
Ooh, let's go.
Fire.
I like that.
Yeah.
Broke clock is right
Twice
twice
a
a
day.
day. Nice. And then they were talking about to be an artist, like, you can't call yourself an artist unless you create art.
Right.
Like, so
Great art.
create
Do
art,
it.
like, just keep doing stuff, keep going, like, keep creating. So, like, if you want to be a dancer, you have to dance.
You have to
so
dance,
just keep dancing,
choreograph.
like, you know, stuff like that. It's super inspiring. And then 50 Cent's one had me the most inspired.
Yeah, you have WhatsApping me like every day.
Dude,
Like, I got
he's
this. I got
so
that.
good. And he talks
I'm
about,
excited
like,
to listen to it.
he talks about, like, the art of perception, like, and how, like, your perception of people is everything. So, like, he says, spoiler alert, but it's really good. Like, if you pulled up next to someone in a Ferrari, let's say in a Fiat Punto,
My car.
a dirty orange Fiat Punto, and you were like next to, or a Bentley or a Ferrari, and you're trying to talk to them through their window,
They might not give you the time of
do
day.
you think that they're going to be like, I need to know what this guy's saying?
Right.
Or are they going to be like, oh, this guy looks a bit dodge. Like, what's he shouting at me?
Especially the way my car looks at the moment.
But if you pulled up next to them in a Mercedes or a BMW,
They might give you time.
they might go, what's he saying? I need to understand what he, like, what's he telling me? Because he's going to view you as if you're a higher person, or you're a person
Or
of
equivalence,
wealth,
yeah.
or some sort of benefit to him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that just is what happens in the world,
Everyday world.
that we do. It's the same as when I moved to LA. Like, when I got my visa and I went to LA and people found out like who I worked for, like the first 3 months, everyone wanted to be my friend. It was like everyone was like, "Yo, Kane, da 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 da," like, because I was the new kid. I'd worked for all these big choreographers, and then like once a year goes by and like
They realize how much of a dick you are.
I can't realize they see I'm such a knob. I'm horrible to them all. I'm joking, and like they can't get anything out of you. Their perception is different now, so they don't care. And he talks about the art of perception and how important it is to have to leave the perception of what you want people to think you are, or what you're trying to be.
I think there's
obviously that's not
yeah.
but it's a good way of putting it. Like, if you walk into an interview with a suit on, they're going to take you more seriously than if you don't.
Yeah.
It's the art of perception. Whereas they might not know that I wear joggers every damn day.
Yeah. And I think I've studied like a lot of millionaires and listened to a lot of podcasts and whatever. And apparently there's always like a very natural trajectory of like friendships and relationships. So like at first, obviously you're just kind of a normal person. Then you start to change your life and you drop a lot of friends because their perception of you has changed. You don't fit into their narrative. And then once you become successful, then they start to crawl back into your life because then there's a different perception of you again.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I totally agree with the perception. There's so many, like, I think that also works on the flip end where you might look at someone in a Ferrari and think they're really happy and successful, but they might be driving that Ferrari wanting to drive off a bridge.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Tommy Fury. No, Tyson Fury was going to kill himself in a Ferrari.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Going to drive it.
So there's relevance there,
Going
isn't
to
there?
drive it either off a bridge or into a wall, and he didn't. But yeah. Crazy. So yeah, 2 very, very good books I've listened to. I recommend them both. 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson, or
He's
I
a
should say
gangster.
Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. His book, and then Still Like an Artist, and the trilogy of them. Very, very good. They've super inspired me. And then also
I like super inspired, Kane. I get lots of voice notes from you.
Yeah.
And it
"Dude,
inspires me to be better.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Which we are. Big things coming.
Yeah. Do you know the only
Big
thing?
things coming.
And I got this from these books. They're like, write down all your ideas. I never write down my ideas, which I need to start.
No, you voice note them to me instead.
Yeah, which I need to start doing, because the amount of good ideas I've had this week, and then I forget about them. Like,
Well, that's
they're
often
crazy.
what I do. I use voice notes as my kind of my notepad and accountability. Like I the amount of times I have an idea, and as I'm thinking it, I'm saying it in a voice note to you, or I'm saying it in a voice note to another business partner or whatever. I just go thought process, record.
Yeah. I think I need to start doing that more, of being like, I want to try and do this class, like write it down so I don't forget, because there's so many distractions.
So many distractions.
Also this week I had an audition.
Oh yeah, we haven't spoken about this yet.
Yeah, I had an audition for Barbie the movie. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk. I didn't sign an NDA, I don't think. Who cares? So fired. So I had an audition for Barbie the movie. On the roll it said you're coming in as Ken, which I was like, all right, let's go.
Ginger Ken.
Ginger Ken. But Ken, to me, like when you think of Barbie and Ken, you think of a hunky guy, right? When I think of a Ginger Ken, I do not think of a hunky guy. Think of someone be like, hi, my name's Ken. Like glasses, proper gimp. Like,
You've just cussed your people down, mate.
I'm just saying how it is. It's the perception of gingers and
Perception
the word
of gingers.
Ken.
Yeah.
Because when you think of Ken, you don't think of a hot guy.
No,
do
I
you?
think of a brunette dude.
Do you?
Like slick back hair.
Yeah, but if I said this guy called Ken and he's ginger, what would you think? That's what I'm saying. See? I'm right.
I instantly went somewhere.
Perception.
It's perception.
So I had my audition for that. I got there, and I didn't know anyone in the room, which is normally not a good sign for me. or maybe them, but not for me. But I was fine. I
Why
was
is
super
that?
like, because I feel like when all my friends are there, I thrive.
Right.
Like when I know people in the room, my energy gets like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm hype and I'm bantered to see there. Whereas I was on my own. I wasn't really talking to anyone.
Oh,
So I just put my
were you a bit
headphones in.
lonely?
So it's funny. So they all turn up and they're all like the formula. They're all in their joggers.
Adidas tracksuits,
They're all
a
in their
baggy top.
Adidas tracksuits. Yeah. I'm wearing nice jeans, tight fitted black top so you can see my guns. Make my boobies bounce.
Get them Ken vibes
Get
going
them
on.
Ken vibes going on. Trying to not look like a typical geeky ginger guy.
I'm sexy. I swear.
Yeah, and they've all got their joggers on and that. And then everyone's kind of doing their own thing, like warming up and stuff. Everyone's kind of just stretching.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little stretch and then I put my headphones on and I started just doing house drills because I was really cold. And I thought that'll warm me up. It'll make me start dancing. First of all, I felt like I lost the ability to dance because I had such a tight top and tight trousers on. I felt like I had no swag whatsoever. I looked nice, but it's not what I'd normally dance in. So I felt like
there's a lot to say about
you
that.
had taken my Mr. Double Change super outfit off me, and I lost my powers.
Not my super cape.
Yeah, so I had no groove whatsoever. Everything felt just funny. That's fine. So we go upstairs. We go into the studio, and the choreographer, who I recognized because I researched her to find out who she was,
Good man.
was sat on the table, and then she had an assistant who was stood up and was like, "Right, guys, spread out. We're gonna start. Thank you all for coming. Hope you had a nice day." Da da da. And I'm like, "Okay." And I look down. I'm like, "Why you got no shoes on, man?"
Oh shit.
She had no shoes on, and it said in the brief like you can wear trainers or jazz shoes.
Right.
And I was like, obviously trainers. Like, come on, bro. Like, you can't get Jordan jazz shoes. Do you know what I mean? Although I did wear Pumas, not Jordans, but still. So I look at her feet and I'm like, why she got no shoes on? That's definitely not a good sign for me. Like, that's definitely oh shit. So then she's like, we're gonna do a jazz number to start, and I was thinking, oh, okay.
When was the last time you did a jazz number? A jazz number and then a jazz number in an audition.
No, just a jazz number in an audition, probably in LA in like 2013 or 14. But like,
so a good 10
like,
years almost.
as in like dance jazz, like and then a jazz class, like a very long time. Like my technique expired in 2010. Like I left college in 2009. It expired in 2010. And I was sucked at it when I was in college, let alone a decade later, you know. So anyway, we all started learning this combo. I was a bit like the first 8 or 2. I was like, okay, this isn't me whatsoever, but I can
got it.
I can do it. And then all of a sudden it went like double pirouette on in a plie into a single on a high releve to go kick your leg out into second, and then you do like a turn, and then they're like, we asked for a section where there's a coupe turn and like a inward rond de jambe, like your leg at 90 degrees. There's like a kick and twist into attitude turn. Well, bitch, I am learning this, and I am like, oh my god.
Right.
Like my body was just like, what are you doing?
Stop.
And it's like I had that thing where I wanted to be like, do you know what? I was so out of my comfort zone within that first 10 minutes of learning it that a part of me wanted to go, just go.
Just go. Get out.
But I was like, do you know what? Like, that's not how I've succeeded my entire career, my entire life. I was like, I'm going to stick this through and I'm going to fake the shit out of this. And I'm going to be so crap, but so confidently crap that hopefully I win them over. Like, do you know what I mean? But we learned it with a mask on because of obviously COVID. COVID. Gotta wear a fucking mask on my face to dance. Don't have to wear one in the gym, but you have to wear one to dance. Like, don't have to wear them at all now. I have to wear it to dance. Mind blown. It was before Thursday though, so the rules weren't.
I don't think you have to wear them when you're dancing.
Yeah, you don't, but they wanted us to for this,
Right.
which is fine.
Was she
I don't
called
care.
Karen?
Like, learning it, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be horrible. Poor Karens.
So Karen.
So we had to wear the mask to learn it, and I was like, "That's fine. Like, I get it. Like, it is
Covering
what
up
it
your
is."
insecurities.
Yeah, hiding my crying face.
Tears just go.
Yeah, hiding my tears. And so we learned dance. I'm super out of my comfort zone. I was just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna do this the best shit I can, because like they might just use me to carry props across the back, and I'll be like the ginger cool guy or the ginger geek, whatever one you need. I can just be the ginger one. Like that would be my role.
I got a 6-pack.
Yeah, I've got a 6-pack, and I've got a great fucking 2-step and great vines. Like, so you know, it could just be that. Then anyway, we learned the first one, and then they go, right, we're gonna do it in smaller groups. I was like, okay. when we were learning it, I
wish
made
I was
sure.
there.
Normally, my tip would be to hide in the corner if you're like insecure about something.
Mm-hmm.
But because when we got there, I knew that I looked nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, right, no matter where I stand, I'm not gonna look good doing this.
Okay.
Like they're gonna know that I'm not gonna be the good one. I'm gonna stand right at the front, right in the center, so they see my learning ability. They see me asking questions. They see like I look smart. Hopefully, they just keep looking.
What?
at
So
me.
you stood at the front throughout the whole learning process?
Yeah, right in the
Right.
middle. Hoping that they'd go, oh, at least he's hot.
At least you saw.
Something like, you know what I mean? Like my dance ability wasn't gonna win this, so I thought at least I can try and like if I'm near them, they might catch good vibes.
Interact with you.
Interact,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
vibes, like something. So that was my plan. So anyway, we do it in
it.
groups. They call us out. I went bang straight in the middle again.
Right.
So I was like, cool. I was like, I got this. I was like, I'm gonna outperform everyone. Like that's what I'm gonna be. My
I'm gonna
turns,
smile
I'm
like a
gonna be
motherfucker.
I'm gonna have a sickled foot. I'm gonna have a bent leg, but I'm gonna smile like a motherfucker because I've spent $2.5 grand on teeth. Like they're gonna see this. We have to keep our masks on.
No way. Oh, there goes your whole plan.
There goes my whole plan. They don't even know what my face looks like. They don't even know that I got teeth. I could look like a meth head.
I'm really surprised.
Dude, so it's a film. I was
Yeah.
like,
Surely your look is absolutely everything.
well, apparently not. Apparently my technique was, but or it wasn't anything at all. But yeah, we had to keep the masks on. So that was such a weird experience. Like I've never had to like try and sell myself at an audition and not be able to like perform. My eyes were doing the most. I was like, look, wink. Try and like
raise eyebrow.
give an Elvis eyebrow. Had my ears moving. Like, I mean, I was
Some
trying to
Dumbo shit,
I was trying
right
to smile through my mask so they can see my cheekbones working, like my cheek muscles. So yeah, that was interesting. And then we learned the second routine, which was way more up my street. Still not what I would say I do.
What
like,
kind of vibe was that?
it was kind of like animalistic, just like powerful, big movements, jumpy. Like it was cool. It was only a few eights, and then they were like freestyle at the end, and I was like, freestyle or like freestyle, and they're like, this is your time to shine.
Right.
Like if you've got flips, you've got tricks, this is you. And I was like, ha ha ha, superpowers on.
Mr.
Like,
Ball change, back
Mr. Ball
capes on.
change is back, baby. And so we did the combo. I was fine at it. It's 3/8. And then the freestyle. So before I started freestyling, I kind of glanced. Because normally I'm like, I can gauge what people are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone was such technical, like they
Right.
were all super technical.
Proper jazz
except
kids.
me. Yeah, except me. I was the only one which probably had zero technique in the room.
Right.
And I looked and I left to right to me and I was like, okay, like they were doing their whatever they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my time. So I started doing swipes, did some breaking, got up, and then I was like, do I flip? Do I flip? And obviously I told you the day before I went, I'd hurt my groin here filming with you. And it was really playing up. Like, especially
with jazz.
Yeah, like it was not feeling good. So I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm 31.
I've got a pulled groin.
I've got a pulled groin. I'm probably not going to get this. I'm not flipping.
Right.
Like, the risk wasn't worth the
the risk
reward.
reward, yeah.
Like, if I was like, I feel like I'm in for a shot with this, I would have been like going ham. But I was just like, nah, I've still got to teach all week. Like, I've still got to do shit. Just settle. So I just started doing variations of kickball changes and like trying to groove and sell it. And, you know, I can dance. And as soon as I started flipping and breaking, you could kind of sense that everyone was watching going, whoa, like,
Yeah.
look at that guy spinning around. But it made me realize, first of all, it was super humbling. Like, it was a very humbling experience for me to go in and feel like one of the worst in the room. Because I haven't felt like that in a very long time, except for when I did tap dancing with 10-year-olds, a tap attack. But that was a really humbling experience, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was nice. It made me go, oh, you need to pull up. Like, you need to work on some stuff.
I was going to say, has it inspired you to get better at tech?
No.
I knew that was coming.
No, it hasn't inspired me to be better at technical stuff at all. Because the reality is, you know, I've not done many technical jobs in my entire career.
Right.
I understand technique enough that I can do a couple of turns and do some basics. But, you know, if you want people to be super technical dancers, I ain't that guy. And I'm okay with it. Like, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So that's fine. And to be honest, like if I had to do that for 3 months, they would probably be sick of looking at me doing it poorly. And I'd probably just get told off every day. So it wouldn't be nice for any of us.
No.
But it would have been a lovely experience. But what was nice is they made it feel like a really safe atmosphere. So even though I didn't have a fucking bubble about what was going on, I did. Like, I mean, I need to give myself some credit. But it didn't look pretty.
Yeah, I so wish I saw
Sure
a
as
video
hell
of that.
didn't look elegant. It looked like probably a rugby player trying to do ballet, or do jazz. But they made it feel like a really safe environment, which was cool. Because I've been in some auditions where, like, even though, like, it's what we're good at, the people on the panel still somehow manage to make you feel like trash.
Do you think it's like because it's driven by ego?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But, like, they just felt like they really cared, and it was
Right.
lovely. It was a lovely experience. So yeah, super humbling. But it really, like, helped me learn about, as a teacher, I need to promote people being versatile if they want to have more opportunities, which is kind of an obvious thing to say, and that's what we say anyway. But I was always kind of stood on the fence about being versatility, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today. Like, to me, it's like, obviously, the more versatile you are, the more opportunities you have. That's what we like to call a jack of all trades, right? Which is an amazing thing to have. And I do think people who are more versatile are going to get so many more opportunities. But, like, it's hard because although I would like to be more versatile, I really don't enjoy ballet or jazz. So it's like, should I sacrifice the things I like to be more versatile to get more jobs? But then would I like the job?
Would you like the job?
So it's tough. Like, it's a tough... Like, where do you put yourself? Because I do think everyone should be versatile. But say you only want to be a hip-hop dancer or a street dancer and you only want to dance for, like, commercial artists. Should you invest all your time in that thing that you never want to do and don't like, even though it might help you get to what you want? And it's hard because it's like, yes, the sacrifice to get what you want, right? It's like, if you're training for a marathon, do I want to run every other day to train for a marathon? No. But it'll be worth it once I accomplish the marathon. Like, is the trade-off worth it?
Like, let's say you got that tech job, and because you were more technically able, could that then lead to, let's say your chosen style was hip hop, could that job then lead to a hip hop film job?
Of course it could. 100%.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like,
most definitely. Of course it could. But then it's hard, isn't it? Because I fall also on the side of, if you're going to dance, say 5 hours a day, do you only want one of those hours to be the thing you like?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the ratio of it.
Do you want 80% of your life to be doing shit that you don't want to do?
Practicing stuff that you don't like or you don't particularly want to do, but it's going to help you in the future. And I know, like, that's a good thing to have. But the whole point we dance is because we love it. But then, if you can find a way to love doing all these styles, then, it's a win. Like, if you're Nina, who loves doing everything, then it's a win. But, like me, I really don't love doing that stuff.
No.
Like, I'll do it if I have to, or I'll do it if I was like, I want to be, like, this film, I would love to be in a film. I've never done a movie. I would love to be in a movie. The trade-off would be worth it. As in doing it on a job.
But would the trade-off of having to study for the last 5 years?
No, it wouldn't be.
Or however long.
Yeah, to train in that thing that I don't love. But then at the same time, maybe the more you train in it and the better you get at it, the more you begin to like it. Because, we all know that things that you struggle with, you tend not to enjoy until you start enjoying it.
I do think there's like...
Or until you start getting better at it.
But I think in dance there's culture and there's like stylistic like approach to movement. For example, Nina taught me jazz for a month and I hated it. Because at no point did I go, why would I ever want to do this? Yeah. Like, at no point do I hear a song and go, I want to do a kick here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, physically, I could learn to do it.
But maybe it would make sense if you were listening to a specific song. Like, because your choice of music that you
because my
choice
of
Chris
music.
Brown, or like, you're not going to be like, I want to do a spin and a kick.
Yeah.
So these hoes ain't loyal.
Like, these hoes ain't whap.
These hoes ain't loyal. Oh my God, that hurt. But I've done that before in here, haven't I? I'm holding out my foot. But if you listen to like jazz music, then you'd be inspired to do jazz, maybe.
Yeah, but but I don't listen to it, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't see the point in it. Yeah.
So it's a weird one because I do think like if I was more versatile, like I probably would have got the job. Like I didn't even get a recall. They were like, we don't need to see you again, and I am okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's one of those like my ego wasn't hurt at all.
No, which is good.
Like as soon as I left, I wasn't like sad. I wasn't beating myself up. I was just like, do you know what? Like it's okay that I'm not good at this because I've not put in any work to be good at it. Like that's on me, and I'm okay with that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like what we were talking about last week. Like when you're confident in something, it's okay to be confident in it when you've put the work in, because then it's really not cocky or arrogant because you put in the work. I was quite happy being shit because I know I've not put in the work. Whereas I think if it's something I'd grafted to be good at and then I was shit, I'd be devastated.
Do you think there is that mindset of your versatility would change depending on where you're at in your career? For example, you're in college or post-grad. Do you think you would have benefited more from working on your versatility then? Because obviously you know what your strengths are now, and you know what jobs you like now because you've had that experience to be on those jobs.
Yeah, of course. Like, of course, it would have been more beneficial at the age of 20 because it would have opened up new avenues and new doors. But for me personally, I went to college. I did all those things.
Man, you still didn't
like it. And I still didn't like them. You know what I mean? Like, I still didn't enjoy doing them. I just did them as a sacrifice because I was told that I have to have a basic understanding in these things to have the career I want, which is, I learned loads, and it does help me because it helps me when it comes to teaching. I have terminology. I can be like, imagine this is use your back as well as your arms.
It's moved again.
Just like it's a port de bras or something if I kick the stand. Yeah, sorry. Like, the terminology carries across, as in, I can say, go through your feet on this groove just like it'd be a chassé. I understand terminology, but at no point have I ever been like, I really wish I could like bang out that technical dance. I just haven't. Except when I watch like someone like Josh Denyer, I go, I'd love to be able to do that. And then I go, but that means I'd have
How much do I have to work to get to that
I'd have to do ballet classes every day for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to do that because that doesn't inspire me in the slightest. It's like the trade-off.
So would you rather be the top 0.001% of a skill or the top 1 to 5% of multiple skills?
I'd rather be in multiple skills, but it depends how much we're narrowing it down. Because if you just go in hip hop, and we call the whole like hip hop / street dance as a
so are we talking about locking, popping, whacking, everything?
Yeah, if that's one skill.
No, I'd say they're different
skills. They're different skills, right. So I want to be able to do all of those.
Okay.
Now.
That's like, so street foundation,
I'd love to be able to do all of them, and I'd like to know my basics in other stuff, which I know my basics in other stuff. But not to a point where I'm going to go on stage and be like, I'm going to do a jazz number.
Okay.
It's just if there's like choreo and there's a jazz turn in it, I can do it. But if you're giving me the entire thing jazz, no, I'm going to be a hot damn mess. You know what I mean? So I think it's tough. But then I always used to think that about B-boys. Like, B-boys only ever train B-boying, really. There are some like B-boy twix, like JD, who'll do like other stuff and do choreo. But like they go, the B-boy lifestyle, ride or die, just is B-boy and breaking. I always think like they're in like the tiniest bracket about making money or performing as a dancer. But when they do it or they get to that level, they're like the one. Like B-boy Flea Rock used to be the B-boy who did all the tours in the States. Like he did Mariah, did Rihanna. Like he was the B-boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it just depends. But to be in that 1%, the opportunities are going to be way slimmer.
Whether you were the top 1 to 2% of locking, breaking, house, hip hop.
You know what I mean? So obviously being more versatile is 100% more beneficial. 100% more beneficial, especially if you can be, like, let's say we mark it out of 1 to 10. Like, do you want to be in just breaking like a 9 or a 10, or do you want to be everything as a
7?
Yeah.
I would always rather be the 7s.
I'd rather be the 7s, but if you don't enjoy all of those things, it's a lot of time committing to stuff that you don't like. Because again, the most beautiful thing about being, let's call us artists,
which you
is
are,
which is our hobby, right? But ask any person who's made their hobby and their favorite thing into their bread and butter, into their job, into their things that they've got to pay their bills. It already becomes difficult enough. It already makes you have a tiny bit of resentment sometimes. As lucky as we are to do it, and I'm not complaining, but it's true.
Well, there's tough times. There's always going to be
like you always get to that point where you're like, I don't want to do my hobby today because it's with people I don't like, or it's a tougher, I'm just not feeling it, my body's tired, whatever. So like, add that on top of, then say you've got to go and do that job where you're like, oh, I'm not really in the mood for this one, and it's doing the thing you don't like doing. That sucks. Like, you know what I mean?
But then it's how much of a percentage of your working life is that sucks moment.
It depends, I guess, what you're willing to say yes and no to.
Mm.
But you know, most performers aren't in a position to say no to work.
No. True.
You know, they're not.
But how many jobs are they on there that you don't like? Do you know what I mean?
I've done loads of jobs that I don't like.
But as let's okay, go on then. Let's put you as an example. So obviously you've done a ridiculous amount of jobs.
I'm not going to name the jobs. So I don't
No, of course
but
not.
like,
But like as a percentage or like a ratio, what do you think? How many jobs did you not enjoy versus the jobs you like?
a few, but I think let's say the reasons you like it, like choreo's bad,
Mm-hmm.
or the people are bad, or the pay's bad, or flip it, choreo's good, people are good, pay's good. Like, what's the trade-off? Like, for me, I always love to have a 2 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can get a 2 out of 3, I deem it a good job.
Christy Lee Manning brought this up. What should I say? People, pay. What was the other one?
People, pay, and then like, what she meant is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you want 2 out of 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's shit money, hopefully you're with good company, you're doing something you enjoy.
That's a good trade-off.
If you don't enjoy it, hopefully you're getting paid bank and you're with good people.
Mm.
And if you're with shit people, hopefully the choreo's good or the performance is good and you're getting good pay. Like, most of the time, it's always been 2 of 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very often there's been 1 of 3. And if there has, I've never done it again.
Right. So go on, percentage. What do you reckon? How much of your working life have you thoroughly enjoyed?
Well, would just be under a 1, like, or thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, like how much? Like, how many jobs would you have done again? And as a percentage
Without having to think about money, because I've always needed money.
Yeah.
So I would always say
take money out of the equation. So let's say like 60% of the work you've enjoyed, or 70, or 30, or
I'd say 70.
70%. So 7 out of 10 jobs.
60 to 70.
7 out of 10 jobs you'd do again.
Yeah.
Which is, again, that's quite a high.
It's quite a high ratio.
You know, you think about
but
how
it's
much.
not that high considering this is my favorite thing in the world.
True. But I'm going to guess that a lot of the things, it wasn't the dancing, it was more the managerial.
A
the
lot of time
management
is the
around you.
dancing too.
Right, just 'cause
Like
the
when you
choreo's
go and you got to
whack.
rehearse a number for 4 days and you're like, I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that's not fun.
Can you look past that though? The choreo,
Yeah, if you're with good people, or
what
you
makes
get good pay, or
you-
you can treat you good.
What makes you not enjoy a choreo?
If the movement just doesn't resonate with my body,
Right.
or if I think it doesn't make sense to the music.
Okay.
But there's been some where I've learned the combo and I'm like, this is going to be dope. And it comes on and you're like, what?
What am I doing?
You're like, I don't get it. Or there's others the other way around where you're like, you're learning it and you're like, this is trash. And then you end up enjoying it.
Mm.
Like, it just depends. Obviously, I do think it's a mindset thing. You can make yourself find the good in.
I was gonna say,
in
do you
every job.
ever find?
Because I've definitely been on the other end where I've not seeked the bad in every job, but I've not been in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a negative Nelly. And I found the negative in stuff.
The negative,
And
yeah.
the negative is highlighted because I'm feeling negative. Whereas I needed some positivity in my life. And then maybe I would have found some more positivity.
Mm. Do you ever find that your ego, I'm not saying you're egotistical, but do your ego gets, like, because let's say you're dancing to a Justin Timberlake song
Yeah.
and the choreo you learn is not up to what you would visualize.
Hmm.
Do you sometimes go, I could do a way better job? And that creates a negative environment for you to work in.
Yeah. But as long as it's still to like a certain standard. Like sometimes to me it's like if the choreo is like bad
Mm.
and you're just like, what on earth is going on? Then there's like, I can't redeem that. But sometimes if the choreo can be average, but you can dance it and still find a way to make it feel good or find enjoyment in the movement, is cool. But like, to me, I care about how, it depends what you're choreographing for. Like, are you choreographing for it to look good or feel good or both?
Stage.
Because sometimes, but sometimes like stage choreo feels like trash, but it looks good on stage.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're just doing cannons, if you're just doing like,
feels
you're on
horrible.
stage and you're doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, like, do you know what I mean? And you're not like connecting movement and dancing. It might not feel that great,
But it look lovely.
visually it looks incredible. Whereas I like things that feel good. So it's like, what do you prefer? Like, I like things that feel good in my body, things that I go, ooh, that was dope, that made sense, which might not necessarily look so good. And that's what I think, like, also my choreo, sometimes I think when I watch my choreo, I go, oh, it doesn't look as good as it feels.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
and
can
some
resonate with
stuff I
that.
choreograph that I go, that looks dope, but it actually feels like trash.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it depends.
So let's reel it back to versatility. would you? I feel like we kind of have given a very grey. I say we, you, pointing fingers at you. A
One-
very grey
Hey,
answer.
you point one finger, 3 point
Three point
back.
at you. What is your kind of final opinion on versatility as a dancer?
I think everyone should be open to learning everything, and you should learn as much as you can and try everything, because you don't know until you try. But if you don't like it straight away, I would say don't give up on it right away. Give it some time to settle, and then if you still despise it, then then you can step away from it, knowing that you've given it a shot.
And what do you think would be a fair time frame for that?
Gotta
So
be-
like 20 hours of dance class, not like a month because you might do one class in a month, but like,
yeah, like 20
hours
hours.
uptime.
20 hours is good.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, like, if you're not enjoying that specific style, maybe it might be just because of the teacher that you're learning it from. Because that's a huge thing. Because I know so many people which have like done, in air quotes, commercial before, and they go, oh, don't like commercial, and then I teach them, they go, actually,
I love commercial
today.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Then I'm like, yeah, it's not commercial. But like, so I think it also can depend on the teacher, because I hated ballet in college, and I credit that to, first of all, I was really vulnerable, because I was a boy who used to play rugby and football and break dance in tights. So I already felt vulnerable because it wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
And I was called Billy Elliot by everyone because, that was the thing at the time. But then once I left the first college I went to and I went to the second college, I did not like my two ballet teachers.
Right.
Like the one of them, and I've said it on here many times, couldn't stand him. He should have been my hero, because he was this tall, handsome, straight male ballet dancer who's done all these amazing ballet shows. He was dope. Like, he was like so masculine how he did it, and he made it look like, I don't know, it was just nothing like weak about it. Everything was so powerful, and he just wasn't nice to me. And I just remember him not being nice to me, and I remember being like, do you know what, you're not encouraging at all,
Right.
so do one. And then the woman, I didn't really like her either. She wasn't very supportive, like, because I wasn't naturally good and I wasn't flexible, didn't have straight legs. There was just no encouragement. So I was just like, do you know what, like, you don't give me any love. So I'd already built a hate for ballet.
There's been negative relations.
I already had a big disconnect with ballet,
Yeah.
and I was so far from it, you couldn't have pulled me back. But then my teacher I had in my second year was Lisa Aldridge. Shout out Lisa. I see her every week. She always says, she was like, I think if I'd had you from the beginning, you would have loved it. And I went, yeah, you're probably right. Because she was the one that made me go like, this isn't that bad. Like, I understand why this is good for me. Like, she made me try and find the positives in it.
So,
you know what I mean?
To become versatile, you should also be versatile in your teacher choices.
Yeah, like, make sure you're learning it from a good teacher or who tries to help you enjoy it. Because if they're just like giving you steps and you're not enjoying it, and they're not trying to make it a fun experience for you, maybe it's on you to then go, do you know what? We're not compatible. Just like a relationship, just like a friendship. Like, everything you do with someone is a relationship, right? So your relationship between the teacher and student, like, a big thing that I like to say is, like, I can be the best teacher in the world if you're the best student.
Yeah.
Like, because we have to work as a team. It's not just about me giving you stuff and you taking it in. You have to give back. You have to give back your energy, your time, your effort. Like, and the more you give me, the more I can give you. We're both going to thrive at the situations we're in.
So if you were to rewind back to your college ballet days, what would be your advice to that Kane? Because knowing what you know now, knowing that having a good ballet foundation would have been beneficial for you. If a college student was experiencing how would you go about it now?
I would go back and work my ass off.
But like, because of the teacher relationship,
yeah.
And if you're with a shit teacher, well, not a shit teacher,
but
it
wasn't a shit teacher. It was just a teacher that I wasn't maybe compatible with.
Yeah.
Like, I can't put it all on them. Again, it's a relationship. It could be me too.
So how have you dealt with that situation now? Apart from working your ass off,
I would try and build a relationship with them.
Right.
Like, I would actually just go up to them and be like, I really want to be good at this, but I'm struggling.
And
like,
I don't feel like we're connecting.
Or I just like, I feel really vulnerable. Could you help me be more confident? Like,
just being straight up about
not being like, you're not making me feel good, because it's not about passing the blame. Own responsibility.
Because when you point one finger, I'm
gonna like, take the responsibility that, like, I feel vulnerable or I don't like this because it doesn't resonate with me. Not that you're doing anything wrong. This just doesn't resonate with me. do you have any advice on how I can maybe find a way to enjoy this?
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe it's even like, so when I first went to college, I hated contemporary as well. I was
Right.
like, this is absolute trash. I'd see like people we'd do Graham, we'd do Cunningham. I was like, this is so boring. We'd go and watch contemporary shows and I'd fall asleep. Genuinely fell asleep in probably like 6 contemporary shows
Right.
that like paid to go and watch as part of like the college. And I'd be like snoozing away. And then Kai Thomas, who is my teacher, he really used to try and make an effort of making it like really boisterous.
Right.
And, like lots of jumps and rolls and making it stuff which resonated with me, and would kind of be like, and then he'd be like, think how good your breakdancing will be because you're softer on moving on the floor.
Right.
And then he took us to watch Netherlands dance theatre.
He found a language that you understood.
Yes. Or he made it like, you're going to be better at this if you're better at this. So you should get better at this. Like, and then I was like, okay. You know what I mean? And then we went to watch like Netherlands dance theatre, and it was a combination of, basically they were just these incredible contemporary dancers, technical dancers who are super powerful, like jumps, like just so like I was in awe of them. And it was like, it wasn't this like contemporary like hippie-ish that thing that we have, the perception that we have of a contemporary dancer or a contemporary company. They were dope. They had like matrix cloaks on.
Really?
And like, yeah, it was sick. And then they took us to watch Australian dance theatre, which was the best. There was like these wham muscly guys. Like they looked wham at the time. They probably weren't. They probably just shred city, but like just fit athletic dancers who were like incorporating breakdancing with their contemporary. And then the whole point of it would be like they would run and they would jump. So say like we're far apart and the camera was like over there, people that aren't listening, sorry, like away from us. So I was hidden behind Jake and we're like a meter away from each other. If we both jumped and did a specific shape, there'd be a photographer at the front of the stage and he'd take a photo and then that photo would project on a screen behind them.
Right.
And it would look like they're like holding hands, but they're like 2 meters apart because of the angles they jump on and stuff.
Okay.
Or like one would do like an L kick and one would be like reaching for it and they'd be really far away, but then the photo in the thing would look like they're holding hands as they're doing it, stuff like that. And that made me like it because I was like, yo, it's not just about how it feels on the inside or like let your body relax and take over, like, do you know what I mean? None of that, like, the contemporary that I'd experienced.
It was an art form that you understood,
or that even just appealed. So I think if maybe there was a way that the ballet teacher could have done that to me, like I wish the male ballet teacher who should have been my hero said to me, come and watch this show I did. Right. Or like, look how amazing this is. This might inspire you. So like I was teaching yesterday at performers and most of the people I teach are girls. Everywhere I go, most of the people I teach are girls. And I do always say to them, like, I imagine it's probably quite difficult to resonate with me or to take everything I'm saying because sometimes you're like, I don't get how you're feeling or I don't get how you'd make that move look good because you're a guy and
you're dancing with a masculine energy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say masculine energy anymore, but
really,
2022 innit? But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I portray this movement in a different kind of way, like a powerful superhero-esque way, and I'm giving them the choice to make it girly and sexy, but then I can't demonstrate that to them what it's going to be like. So because I can't do that or I can't inspire them, even though I'm trying to give them all the tools to do it, I can't physically inspire them by showing them it. I find footage. So yesterday I was like, everyone come here. I was like, I'm trying to get you to work on your quality of movement. Go through your feet, stay in your plie and use your spine and your torso, not just your arms and your legs. And I was like, and I showed them Alex Shondorf. And I was, look how incredible she is. I was like, she's still like feminine and like she still has some like softness and some sexiness when she does it. But also look how strong and powerful moments are. So I tried to find a way for them to relate to what I was trying to teach them. And I just wish someone had done that to me.
You found another language that they understood.
That they would understood. And even if they didn't understood it, one that they could go, I can be that person. Because when they look at me, they're not going, I can be Kane.
But they can look at Alex and go, I can be Alex.
Steal like an artist, right? Like, you want to be the person, like, try and be the person in front of you, maybe, if they inspire you. Only if they inspire you, try and be that person. But I don't want them to try and be me. Because maybe they don't resonate with me, so I show them someone else. So I wish my teacher had done that to me.
So what I'm hearing, kind of reading back to what you said before, was as a student, you should take an accountability to go and approach that conversation with the teacher.
Yeah.
Because, again, as you said, it's a two-way street, right? And you had to go and tell them your experiences
Yeah.
to allow them to be a better teacher.
Like I had a girl come up to me last week, and she said that she's never done commercial dancing before. Then we had the chat about what commercial dance really means, and then and she was like, she's never done it before, and she feels like she's at a standstill.
Mm-hmm.
And she came up to me, and she told me exactly how she felt, and she told me why she feels like she's not improving. And I was like,
That's a very mature conversation.
thank you so much. Now I know
Now
how
we can
I
improve.
help you. Like, so the next lesson, I told her what I felt like she needed to work on and what she does well. And then the next lesson, at the end of the lesson, I was like, well done, you did this better this time.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that you were thinking about that thing that we said you had to work on.
Mm.
Like, it becomes a relationship. As opposed to just standing there and hoping everything's going to be figured out for you. As the student, you've got to put in the work too.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could go back, I would put in more work.
Mm.
In fact, I would have just turned up because I just didn't go to ballet. Friday was my day off. Boys ballet. I'm not going in.
That's a wrap. No, interesting. I like that a lot. That, yeah, you're enforcing the students to go and tell their struggles.
Yeah. And then maybe you'll want to be more versatile because you might have the reason to enjoy it. I know we've kind of steered off from versatility, but
it's how to become versatile.
Because
Because if you dislike something, you're not going to do it.
No.
So it's learning how to like the things that you don't like.
Yeah. Like, even like if you think of it like on an exercise standpoint, like people don't like exercising because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But once they start getting good at it and they start feeling the benefits of it, they begin to like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the same. It would be the same with like, even now, if I went and did a ballet class every day, it's probably going to suck for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe when I start getting good at it, I bet you I'd start enjoying it more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think just keep going. Like Dory says, just keep swimming. Everyone just try and be as versatile as you can. Because actually, all my favorite dancers in the entire world, like my favorite dancer of all time, Misha Gabriel, and then my second favorite one, Nick Bass, they're both so versatile.
Right.
Like Nick Bass, both of them, ballet to the ground, jazz to the ground.
Right.
Like, and why are they my favorite dancers? Because the quality of their movement is incredible.
So good.
The execution is incredible. And that comes from the fact that they're super versatile.
So I guess it would be fair to say, as a student dancer or just as a dancer as a whole, is try to connect the dots of why another style would benefit
Yeah.
the style that you're most intrigued about.
Yeah, and have transferable skills. Because the fact that I've done ballet classes means that when I turn in my hip hop combo, I understand how to spot. I understand where to put my
You can turn
foot.
much better.
You know, I'm not going to do 6 of them, but my 2,
I can at least do 2.
my 2 will look pretty.
Yeah.
But they could look prettier if I train more.
But you don't need to in that. I guess you don't need to in that
Well, no,
style
it's just
of
about
dance.
the balance, isn't it? The balance of it. So yeah, versatility, guys. Get versatile.
Get versatile.
Yeah.
And I think that carries over into like every aspect of life. Like we were talking about this the other day about how we're learning skills that all connect
Dots for other stuff.
dots to other stuff. Like we've got like 3 or 4 brands or whatever merging to make one super brand.
Well, let's just use as an example. Like you never sat down and like, I want to get into videography.
No.
But you knew that videography would help you build the business that you're currently starting to build. Then it connected us to build this.
Mm-hmm.
It connected us to film on the program. Like that has actually brought new ventures for you.
Tying it all
together.
And
even though you didn't necessarily want to be a cameraman.
No. Cameraman Jake.
Jake.
What was it? White camera Asian.
White
Jake?
camera Asian ninja.
But yeah, like, and I think there's such a carryover, and just like small things. Like I remember speaking to Nina. Nina gets brought up on every episode, it seems. Like I said, in your downtime, you should learn communication skills, leadership skills, like other skills that attribute to like your dance career.
Yeah.
Because I think being a powerful communicator is so important for building relationships. If you can build a good relationship with someone, you're likely to get that job.
Yeah.
You know?
Who was it? Someone was injured. There was a dancer who was injured. I wish I remembered who it was. And I remember saying to them, what are you going to do when you're injured? And they started learning how to like do stage lighting.
Right.
So they learned all the names of all the lights and stuff like that and stage lighting. So then when it comes to them choreographing a piece, they could tell the lighting person exactly what they wanted. As opposed to being like, can you just light up the far left corner? Then they could go, can you use light, whatever that word is called, on this?
Absolutely. And it also gives you a backup of like, should you get, let's say you broke your leg so badly that you can never dance again. you then have skills to fall back onto. Like
Yeah.
if I couldn't PT, I've got other ways to income.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got 3 or 4 ways to generate income no matter where I am in the world.
Mm.
Which kind of going back to what we were saying about Instagram, like how Instagram is your main source of business and income.
Yeah, I need to be more versatile.
You'd be more versatile
within
about
my marketing.
your marketing, the way you kind of approach business,
Yeah.
etc. Like I remember when the pandemic hit, and I had to close my business. So I think we were closed for 9 months total, on and off or something. And I was like, hey, shit, what do I do now? How do I make income? Very similar to what you did. You were
Yeah, I was
versatile
going
in
on
your.
tour. Do you know what I mean? I was going on tour, and instead I made an online training program, which is now turned into what it is now.
What it is today, which is a big part of your income, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I learned a skill which I can take anywhere in the world now and generate income.
Yeah.
So it's like being versatile about this. And I'm not a 1%er, but I'm a top 5%er of that skill or another skill. So I think there's carryover.
So get versatile, kids.
Read books and shit.
Well, come and do some ins and outs training program. Especially if you're not good at it. If that's not what you're good at, then you should definitely
more of a
come and
reason
do it.
to
It's
do
more
it.
of a reason to come. If you're dope at it, still come anyway.
Yeah.
We fun. Yeah, that's me.
That's me.
That's what I wanted to cover today. Guys, let us know what you want to know. Let us know who you want to hear from. We've got some exciting guests lined up. I know I said that the other week, but one flopped and fell through. In fact, no, 2 flopped and fell through.
Well, I think we've got a nice one next week. If she doesn't
Hopefully.
flop and fall through.
She doesn't flop and fall through. Episode of Casting Couch is back, but with a new guest.
New guest.
And please subscribe on YouTube. Once we reach 100 subscribers on YouTube, I'm going to put up a free dance tutorial of learning one of my favorite combos, but not until there's 100 subscribers. So tell your friends.
That's a threat.
Like, I think we're on like 73 or some shit like that.
I think it's in the 80s now.
Oh, is it?
We're climbing, baby. Woo,
200
8 subscribers.
then, I mean. No, 100 subscribers, I'll put up a free dance tutorial. And yeah, please share the podcast with your friends and family. Mainly your friends, dancers, other performers. If you're in a college and you think this is beneficial, go and tell your principals or your head of dance. Tell them to listen to it. Tell them to share it with everyone. Send it to your agents. If there's something you don't like about the podcast and you don't agree with what we say, send it to us. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it and broaden our horizons too.
We want to become versatile.
Want to become versatile? Yeah.
81 subscribers.
81. Oh, we have gone up. Kicks of the day. I'm rocking a Camo Georgian 3, aka Patchwork, and Jake is rocking a Nike Flight. Let's go.
Is that what they are? Nike Flight?
Yeah, Nike Flight.
I don't know anything.
Flight.
I just take advice from you.
Take flight, baby.
Buy these trainers. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Peace out. One love. Subscribe. I'm at Mr. Change at the Ins and Outs podcast. This is at Gibson_media_. Peace out, yo.
Peace.
Yo, we leaving the show right now. We're gonna go do a business meeting. Business meetings make the world go round. Bitch, touch the ground.
But I'm not a rapper.
But I'm not a rapper, and I'm getting crapper.